Another anime season and another isekai was aired. And this time around, I went for this title for my isekai seasonal review for two reasons. Number one, it is produced by Silver Link, the same studio that produced the vampire action-packed anime Strike the Blood. So I'm a big fan of their work. And number two, the author is Rui Tsukiyo, who also wrote the story for the controversial anime Rido the Healer. Thus, I wanted to know if that work was just a one-off or if there is a pattern here for, let's say, abnormal behavior. First of all, let me start by saying that I do believe that The World's Finest Assassin is a better work than Rido the Healer. It's easier to digest, but it does have some serious things that the author of this story handles without proper measure. So let's summarize what you will find in this anime. Murder, nudity, drug trafficking, torture, child abuse, pedophilia, child and women trafficking, and rape. You see, the problem is not that you make a story dealing with serious concepts. It's not too graphical, that's true. We don't get to see a lot of those things in detail, but the consequences of these actions are just not there. Sure, the bad guy gets punished for doing this kind of stuff, but the mental and psychological consequences for the victims are just mere things that vanish in the background. Hey, this is a work of art, and the artists have all the right to express however he or she feels fit. I'm a true believer of that. My issue is with missed opportunity to tell a believable story in a work of fiction. And that is exactly what happens here. Just overseeing the repercussions and jumping to the next sequence is quite insulting. That being said, and moving forward with the plot, this title is a straight up isekai, behind a cool name and an awesome opening song. The major difference between this title and the other isekais is that the main character is not a loser that dies and is a goddess, but an Agent 47 kind of assassin. The introduction of the show is remarkable. The whole first episode I was in the edge of my seat enjoying a great hitman story, and the way he dies is spectacular. Perhaps the anime should have been around that guy in that world instead of an isekai, but it is what it is. So our hero, or our anti-hero, dies and meets a goddess that sends him to this fantasy world with a contract to kill the hero of this same world. But he will reincarnate, which means that he will have to burn again. And yes, we get to see the actual conception. He's born in a family of assassins and aristocrats, so it's very fitting, with all of his memories from his previous life. From very young, the assassin now known as Luke Tuatha will grow up following a strict training and diet to build up the ultimate assassin body, learning magic abilities to defeat the mighty hero and fulfill his contract with the gods. Luke uses all of the skills he learns in his previous life in the new world, and now that he is younger, he can experiment with new ones and polish those he already knows. He's smart and slick, however he feels like the typical isekai hero, just with a different background. He's still OP because the goddess granted him power, he's a girl's magnet, he's wiser than everyone else in this world, he still feels undefeatable. It's easy to see that this show is screaming that it's not another isekai, but boy, it has many of the same features that the average one. There are three main female characters in this isekai, all of them crazy in love with the main character of course, and all of them with different personalities. He meets Dia very young, she will teach him the arts of magic. Then Tarte is a stranded girl that he saved and become attached to him, and he trains to be an assassin. And Maha, an orphan that has high merchant skills. All of them are fun to watch, but Maha is the one with the most impactful background story. Well, so much that there is a whole episode dedicated to it. Hard to forget. The villain is the hero, but he has limited screen time. And to tell you the truth, all of the first season is just a premise for a second one. So don't expect big rivalries on that department, as well with the rest of the supporting cast, except for Xian and Esri, the father and the mother of Luke. The mother, who by the way, has a very weird fixation for his son, looking under his sheets just to see how big he has become. Gets kind of weird. The father, even if he is more serious, he also is kind of a weirdo. But his excuse is that he's checking his son's body just to be sure he has one of an assassin's, so I guess that's alright, right? Both parents are really fun to watch, and I did enjoy watching them both. Animation starts great. Again, in my opinion, the best episode is the first one followed by the last one, and those two episodes have great animation. Everything else in the middle looks average overall, but they do use shadows quite a lot. And boy, the CG sucks. Horses and knights straight out of Skyrim. What is this? Or this? The OST is on point for an isekai. They did deliver on this department. Together with a very solid OP, one of the best ones this fall season, and ED. The first one is a summary on how Luke sees his life of an assassin, has a very good punch, and is very dynamic. This comes together with an exceptional presentation. The ED is also really good. Not quite good as the previous one, as the OP, but good enough, and is about Dia and her feelings and experiences. The world finest assassin presents itself as an exception of the average isekai, and although it has a great opening season in episode 1 and a great ending, and it does touch on delicate subjects that most don't even dare, the missed opportunity handling these subjects, the terrible CG in the later part of the season, and the overall average isekai stuffing makes this title, well, average. And for that, it's just a 5 out of 10. I would give it a go for a potential second season, but as it stands right now, this story will be remembered only by its opening theme and badass title. So, what was your impression with this title? Do you think it's different from other isekais or just more of the same? Do you think it's better or worse than Riddle the Healer? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord for free. The link is in the description section down below. And as always, I wish you all a wonderful day.